As an English teacher, I really enjoy using online resources because it allows me to be more responsive to the needs of my students. For example, as students turn in assignments, I can easily change directions, or if I see that a certain question isn't eliciting a response that I want, then it allows me to go in and add in a different question. And so I'll have the majority of students who answer the question in the right way. So I like that I can kind of see, oh, they're confused by this. How can I change the question, or how can I change the instructions to make them more clear? Sometimes I'll add a video, and that can be helpful to students who are struggling over something. I might even send a personalized video to some students. When I do video instructions, I like to add in little funny things, and then I'll ask a question about that, like a key phrase. For example, I like Diet Dr. Pepper. And then I ask students to answer that. I said something in this video. What did I say? And that kind of helps me to make sure I know that they're listening and that they're paying attention to what I'm saying, because I know there's a lot competing for their attention. I also like using online resources because it allows me to leave feedback in kind of a feed-forward method. So obviously, as English teachers, we grade and give feedback on papers. And one of my favorite things to do in the LMS tool is I have students write the paper right in the LMS. And then during class, if they all happen to be there that day, depending on where we're at with our blended learning, I open a tab for every single student and I'll pop into the paper. And it's funny to see their faces when they realize that I'm in there, because they can see someone's observing. Sometimes I'll paste in a funny meme, or I'll write something too, and their head will pop up and they'll look to me at their desk. And that's kind of a funny way to interact with them. But I love going through their papers as they're writing them because it allows me to catch problems before they become problems. I see a lot of students struggling writing introductions, so I particularly pay attention to introductions and I make sure to read every introduction. Or it also allows me to see if students have even started yet. Sometimes just starting is a problem, so I can see, oh, this is entirely blank, call that student up to my desk and we have a conversation. This method works if they're not in the classroom as well, obviously, and then I can communicate with them. And I love that it sends them a little notification that I've written a comment to them, and I ask them to check in on that. Often I'll ask some kind of question in the comments so I know that they see it because they respond to me, and then I can follow up with them about that question. I also like using this method because it kind of gets rid of the problem of, oh, that's at my home computer, or, oh, I think that must have gotten deleted or something like that, because it's all saved automatically, so it saves me time. I think another important idea or concept with online resources and being responsive is to be responsive quickly. This is especially true when you're dealing with fully online students. I found this really true with my fully online university students, and responding quickly to email. I know people have different philosophies and ideas about responding quickly to email. I've found it to be one of the most powerful things that I do in terms of working with students, because they know they're going to get a response to me. So they're not afraid to ask me questions via email because they know that I'll respond quickly. Obviously, I'm not checking my email every single moment, but I have my phone with me. If an email notification pops up and I happen to have a second, I'll look at it. And if it's a student asking a question and I can answer it quickly, then I'll just hurry and pop off a reply and send it to them. I think one of the best compliments I've ever received is that emailing Mr. Mikesell is the same as texting Mr. Mikesell. Because obviously they don't have my phone number and don't text me, but this is a way for them to get a quick response from me. And it goes a long way toward building relationships with them. I think the other part of this is they share things with me that they wouldn't share face-to-face. And I think that helps me know some of their needs and respond to those a little better. And they only do that because they know that I read their email and I respond quickly.